Hello, everybody. Seattle Mike fights with friends. And we got an interesting, I guess, a super middleweight fight to start this out. I don't even know who the hell these guys are. Vences and Carroll. I mean, should have sound now.
To all you folks who have recently discovered the joy of life out here, welcome. From your new neighbors at Tractor Supply. We've got all the supplies you'll need to make your corner of out here feel miles away.
Should have sound now. Okay. For some reason, there's been a delay when I started the mic. I figured that out. Somebody else had that issue. I thought it was somebody else, something I was doing. I got to remember to stop shutting my mic off while the timer's running. That's the thing. And then it's there's a delay on when my mic's starting. So, but I should have known to listen to it. 12 on. What's up, everybody? Robert Kerrigan, a little 5 echo. I heard 9:30 Eastern, but not sure. Let's go. Holyfield getting sacrificed on mass ritual day. Gotta love the arts. Dude, it's this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy what is going on here. I mean, there's been freak shows in boxing. And, I mean, this even goes beyond the Paul brothers just because, I mean, of their age. And what's going on there, we have 58-year-old Evander Holyfield taking on a former UFC champion Vitor Belfort in his boxing debut. I mean, obviously, he's not debuting as a fighter. He knows what he's doing as a fighter. He's also 44 years old. Anderson Silva and Tito Ortiz. Tito's never boxed in his life. Anderson Silva, I believe, is 2-1 as a professional, so he's had a few bouts out there, coming off a victory against former world champion Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who's only 38 years old. So that is a massive victory coming into a fight like Tito Ortiz. And I mean, how the hell they matched him up with Tito, I don't know. But if you, like my friend Wyatt Matheson did, if you got some good odds, if you got decent odds on that and you were able to bet on Anderson Silva, holy geez, more power to you. I mean, they fight. They got to have the fight for a reason. But, I mean, on paper, Anderson should absolutely mop the floor with Ortiz. I got to figure out who the fook these guys are because... Andy, Vences, and Jono Carroll. So they went out of order. So that screwed me up. David Hayes already fought. He fought his neighbor. He fought his neighbor who is a billionaire, but also supposedly a billionaire, but also fights for David Hayes' promotion. The gentleman that fought David Hayes, Joe Fournier, 9-0 as a professional, with his opponents an illustrious record. Guys, listen to this. His opponents have an illustrious record of 34 wins and 117 losses. And former champion, UFC champion Junior Dos Santos sitting there next to Donald Trump Jr. and Donald Trump. This sounds like some kind of April Fool's joke. The whole thing does. But I guess that's where boxing is. This is super strange for me too, guys. I don't know what to say, but we got round 2 coming up here. I mean, Triller is just, they are king of the freak shows. I don't really know what to say about him at this point. I'm doing the stream, obviously. So, I mean, I guess that says, maybe that says something about me. Maybe that says something about us as fight fans that we're watching this. Jim Lampley bowed out. Jim Lampley, when they moved, so when Oscar De La Hoya got the Tony Khabib virus and an event they called Evander Holyfield in. The California State Athletic Commission would not sanction the fight, which I don't blame them. I don't blame them. And then the greatest, yes, the greatest boxing commentator of all time, they had him on the line, Jim Lampley. He was going to commentate this event. And he would not do it. When they brought in Evander Holyfield, he's like, I'm out. This is too dangerous, guys. And you know what? Props to him. Props to him. I don't know who the hell this Grayson guy is. This is supposed to be Jamo Carroll. Does anybody know? Was there another switch? I don't know who the hell this guy is. I know Andy Vences is in there. Andy Vences is in there. So, and the guy he's fighting is King Kong. I should just have Stone versus King Kong on here. This is that kind of event, right, guys? What the hell is the last name of this other guy? Grayson. I'm just going to say King Kong Grayson. How's that? All right, versus King Kong Grayson. There we go, 19 up in here. Make sure and hit that thumbs up button if you like what we're doing here. If you can't comment, you realize it's because you're not subscribed. You just got to be subscribed for 1 minute. Then you can comment on this channel. That's to keep the trolls out, and because, you know, it helps the algorithms and everything on YouTube to have people subscribed. So we're going to check in the chat here. Icon, what's up, man? Little Deca, Anderson fight, UK time. After this fight, it's hard to say how long. It depends on how long this fight lasts, but there's just one more fight until that. So, and that in my mind is the main event. They probably should have just canceled the co-main. But they're going to drag 58-year-old Evander Holyfield out here anyways. We hope that he is safe tonight. I pray for the safety of Evander Holyfield. Pray to whatever God you believe in. Or if you're atheist, I mean, pray to whatever you believe in. Pray to science, whatever it is. Whatever you think could save Evander Holyfield's life tonight. Pray for him, because he was the real deal 20 years ago, but there was a reason that New York would not sanction this guy 10 years ago when he wanted to box in 2011, which was the last time that he was in the ring. Nuka calls, howdy everyone, good to see all the usual suspects. All right, here we go, guys. Round 3, Vences. Oh, and it is Carroll. I don't know why it's a Grayson on his shorts. So, something is predictable in this card. Jono Carroll. I had the name right to begin with. We'll fix his name. Now, I have no idea who these two gentlemen are. Never heard of either one of them. I'm going to be honest, but I mean, I guess it's a fight. Carroll in the blue, Vences in the gray. If any of you have been scoring this up to this point, feel free to throw your scores out there. Sorry about the sound in the beginning. Hell yeah, I forgot this was tonight's Great Brimstone. What's up? Robert says, perfect. Wyatt Matheson, what's up, my man? Saga. Tito actually backed out of his first boxing match versus Dana White. Yep, you are correct. Thought for sure he'd pull out of this one. Well, he still has time. Tito by accidental headbutt. 34-117 is an illustrious record compared to the combined record of Tommy Fury's opponents. Dude, you're right, man. You know, I was talking to Luke Kumo last week, and some of you guys might have seen our conversation in the Fights with Friends group on Facebook. And he said, it's time for boxing to end. He says, boxing is over. They're like VHS. He says, DVD at best. He says, you know, MMA is streaming HD. It's the new thing, and boxing is over. And I kind of wanted to argue with him, But are we just holding on to boxing out of nostalgia? Nice left hook to the body there from Vences as I say that, and a right hook. King Kong coming back with the good left hand. We're going to have more good fights in boxing. We're going to have more good fights. That is going to happen. Boxing overall, I mean, I hope it's not what Triller's putting on tonight. Maybe Triller, you know, it has its place. It's going to get its views. It has its viewers. And to say that we won't be entertained tonight is probably a lie. There is going to be an entertainment value. This is not HBO Boxing After Dark by any means, though. And that's why we don't have Jim Lampley here. That's why he backed out. Nice 1-2 there from Kong. Bug respect to the MMA guys going over to boxing. You don't see a lot of boxing who's willing to step in the cage. Oh, big respect. Yeah, I mean for sure. Tito and Anderson, I mean, they're fighting other MMA guys, so not as much. Vitor, to be willing to fight Oscar, I'll give him credit to be willing to fight 58-year-old Holyfield. It's like, yeah, maybe he should have thought better and pulled the plug on that one. I'm just really worried about Holyfield tonight. Honestly surprised Triller hasn't signed Charlie Z yet. Dude, they're going to sign everybody. They're going to sign every freak show, at least out there. They're not to say that there won't be good boxers. I mean, they have Teofimo Lopez, one of the best pound-for-pound fighters on the planet, on their roster. So, I mean, that part of it's exciting. That's the kind of thing that they might, you know, keep some actual boxing fans. That guy has a lot of them, too. Holyfield looked terrible on the pads. I mean, he looks better than I would have. But Holyfield, he looked bad. Dude, he's 60 years old. He hasn't fought in 10 years. This is nuts. He's literally going to be 59 next month. So, I want to see Charlie Z versus Artem Lobo. If this is signed pound for pound, go. So you got Junior Dos Santos versus Donald Trump on the sideline here talking, and they're talking through the beginning of that round. I kind of predicted that, so I started the fight clock early. Nice uppercut there from Carroll. Juno Carroll. This is a super middleweight bout here. And then after this, it should be Tito Ortiz versus Anderson Silva, two former great UFC champs. Watching the fight and listening here. What's up, Stephen Acosta? Hey, I appreciate that. Especially since former President Donald Trump is the guy who's on the mic tonight. A lot of people are pretty happy about that. I'm sure just as many will not be. Very polarizing person. Vitor said in an interview that he will not try to hurt Holyfield. I don't like statements like that generally, Wyatt, but I really don't want to see a 60-year-old dude killed. You know, so, I mean, that's more fine with me than actually having the fight. It's not fine with me, but it's more fine with me than them actually sanctioning this fight. And they dropped the ball on that, and throw away your thoughts before I start speaking, please, of Donald Trump as anything other than you think of him as a boxing commentator, and then I'm going to criticize the hell out of him. So not criticizing any other beliefs you may have, Donald Trump is slinging some bullshit from that commentating spot. I mean, said he wanted to see boxing go back to 15 rounds. That's absolutely ludicrous. I mean, we've had, I believe, at least 4 deaths in boxing in the last 2 years. And taking those last 3 rounds off of championship bouts saved a lot of lives. Conor fighting Mayweather and Anderson fighting Chavez Jr. were real deal boxers. Only boxer to step in there with the real threat was James Toney. And yeah, we never gave James Toney any respect. So I will give him a little bit now. Respect to James Toney for jumping in there against Randy Couture. It was a money grab. He needed the money. He got in there, but he did get in there. He got in there. He probably knew what was going to happen. Nice 1-2 up top there from Carroll. Good 1-2 to the body there from Vences. Little shoe shine combination there from Carroll here at the end of the 4th round. Triller's main event, George Foreman Juice versus Bob Sapp Deflated. Oh my goodness, I paid for that wild, Greg. That'd be wild. Trump is actually commentating. No one even watches 8-round boxing matches, let alone 15. Dude, 15 is so insane. It's so insane that wherever even did that. And I think 12's too long. Honestly, I would... And I've been watching boxing my whole life. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean that you can't disagree with me. Of course you can. And, you know, but I would make all boxing matches in the future 6 rounds at the most, unless they're an 8-round bout. Make everything else 4 rounds. Get better matchmakers, put together better cards, and you're going to come up with a product that is more like the UFC, that it has left boxing in the dust for 2 decades now. I mean, ever since the UFC came out with The Ultimate Fighter in 2005, boxing has not competed. They've had a few fights here and there. They've had events. They've not had anything that competes with the UFC. No, Donald, if he dies Trump. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. He's doing his best. They asked him to do it last minute. You know, Donald Trump and Trump Jr., they decided they were going to do it and jump in there, you know. They're doing their best. I mean, I can't hate on him too much, but he's no Jim Lampley. Oh, good double jab and a left hand. There from Carroll. Nice right hand there from Carroll. And Junior Dos Santos. Donald Trump interviewing Junior Dos Santos in the booth. This is interesting. Nice left hook and a right hand there from Carroll. Carroll's having a great round here. Showing a lot of good head movement. 58 people watching. Everybody make sure and hit that like button. Or I will have Vitor Belfort come over to your house and beat up your grandfather. Make sure you subscribe. That way you can comment down below. If you can't comment, you just have to be subscribed for 1 minute. And it helps us out here tremendously. So if you don't know, and YouTube doesn't pay real well except for... unless you have a ton of subscribers, you get a ton of ads, or those donations, which is that tip jar, that super chat on the bottom. I also take donations through Cash App. I won't push that too much, but thank you for that. 79 people up in this mother. Oh, nice left hand there from Carroll. Good left hand behind it for Vences. And these guys are going back and forth. Double jab, good left hook to the body. There from Carroll, super middleweights here in the 3 spot. Coming up next, Tito Ortiz versus Anderson Silva, former UFC champions, of course. Nice right hook to the body there from Andy Vences. Dude, well, I mean, Wyatt, I think it's well-deserved. I think he earned that. Nice 1-2 to the body there from Vences. And Carroll's got a great double jab there. He's very elusive for a southpaw coming forward here. I really like what he does. I wish he would do more of it. Nice double jab. Again there from Carroll. And Vences is just kind of gone Tyrone the Frozen One Woodley here. Not doing a whole lot other than dancing. Nice 3 right hands to end the round there for Jono Carroll. Seems like a big round for Carroll. All right, 6th round here. But I mean, I'm serious. I didn't think I would ever say it. I would make boxing now. I would make most of the bouts 4-rounders. The ones that are 10 rounds now, I would take them to 8, or excuse me, to 6, and then championship rounds are the only bouts that would be 8 rounds. And I'm pretty sure they run the bell 10 seconds ago here, and they're still geared onto the commentating here. But Hitman Hearns in the crowd, a legend, the legend Thomas Hitman Hearns. And look at this, King Brown! What's up, King Brown? Dropping the hammer, becoming a premium member. Thank you, sir. Welcome everybody to the new top contender, King Brown. Everybody on that premium member screen up there has they pay at least $5 a month to be on here and to get you know, a few special privileges, emojis and stuff, but really to help the channel a lot. And damn, do I appreciate you guys. Nice uppercut there from Carroll. Yes, welcome, King Brown. Thank you, Robert. Oh, and beautiful left hook to the body there from King Kong Carroll. And like I said, I think Carroll's been better in the second half of this fight. 10 rounds scheduled here for super middleweights, by the way. Nice combination there for Carroll. In between fights before this next fight, I'm going to bring in my co-commentator, Billy Hughes. Help me break these last couple fights down. He also has a 9/11 tribute that he's put together that he wants to have on here. So we're going to do that. You know, to everybody who lost their lives on 9/11, who lost their wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, God rest their souls, be with their families. And just no more endless wars, please. And no more 9/11s. Oh, beautiful. 1-2 to the body there for Vences, who's coming back and having a pretty good 6th round here. It is former president. You are right. We do not so. Did I say president? Former president. Thank you. That is a correction. But, I mean, he's just... He's here as a commentator, like I said, and I'm going to judge him as a commentator, and whatever you think about him otherwise, I'm not real impressed so far as a commentator. On the other hand, it's not his job. To be fair, it's not his job. All right, through 6 here. All right, 88 up in the house, beautiful. And there was a nice left hand to the body from Vences to end that 6th round. Coming into the 7th. Let's get your predictions, guys. Next fight up is Tito Ortiz versus Vitor Belfort. Tell me who you think's going to win, how, and when. I'm going to call Tito Ortiz, Anderson Silva. I think he can actually stop Tito Ortiz. I think he will stop him in the 7th round. I think Tito, uncharacteristically from his MMA career, is going to gas out. That's my prediction. Presidents keep the moniker president at their presidency. Still say President Lincoln. What's up, Charles Barkley in the house? Well, he's the president, but we got a king. We got a king as a new premium member up in here. And if you wonder what I'm doing here, I was trying to find my premium members icon on the side. I've just gotten too many icons on here. Oh, there we go. And we're going to add King Brown. And shout out to all the premium members up in here. Appreciate you guys. Greg Brimstone, Milton Nelson, PBR Street Gang, Arcade Chaos, Billy Hughes, Brock Ellery, John Coffey, Phil D187, Chef Johnson, Yippee Kaye, Mac 209, and King Brown. Thank you very much. All of these gentlemen, ladies need to step it up. All of these gentlemen donate at least $5. Some of them several dollars more. PBR Street Gang also on the Patreon. So thank you for that. Appreciate you guys. Beautiful, nice left hook to the body there from Andy Vences. 120 up in here. People in the chat. Trump's counter, really that bad? Yes, yes it is. Anderson does it in 7 rounds. Robert, you're a smart guy. Great minds think alike. Spider by whatever the hell he wants. Wyatt. Sorry, I'm a little tardy to the party. What's up, Seattle Mike? Hey, doing good, my friend. Good to see you, New Britain Polly. Special shout out to everybody over there in Europe. I know in London, you guys are 8 hours ahead, so it's what, if I can do math here, 2 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be almost 2 o'clock in the morning. They're over in London. Wow, you guys are some dedicated fight fans. Nice left hand in the body there from Jono Carroll. Speaking of dedicated guys, Billy Hughes after this fight will be coming in to co-commentate with me. Billy helped commentate a Ryzen event once that we started at 10 o'clock at night my time. It went till like 7 o'clock in the morning. I think it was like 9 hours. Billy, the good soul he is, he actually fell asleep on stream. Somewhere, I think with about 2 fights to go. And I got to admit, I was enjoying the event, but I was nodding myself. Super, super long event. Those Ryzen events from Japan, they are very good because they have all the old UFC rules. Like, you know, it's something else. There's still knees to the head of a downed opponent. And they still do kicks to the head of a downed opponent. However you feel about that, I mean, it's something different. And I do it for the, you know, those that enjoy it. Hey, bro, keep up the good content. Can I get a shout out? What's up, Ice Wallow Comb? Thanks for coming in, brother. Appreciate the compliment. And Junior Dos Santos is looking good. He's a tough, tough dude. And, I mean, his chin was, it was not the most shots. He was not taking, you know, shots like he did earlier in his career, of course. But, man, he still did pretty damn well towards the end of his career. I thought he looked pretty good. I know the UFC's the toughest SOBs out there, but put some boxing gloves on there, I think Junior Dos Santos can have a resurgence. Nice combination to the body there from Carroll. Anderson starts as Tito in the first. Holyfield can't make the walk, and we get Anderson versus Vitor in a boxing match for the main event. Dude, that's what I want. That would make this much more entertaining to have Anderson Silva fight them both. I'm with J Dig on that. Regards from Uruguay. Diego Ramos, shout out, sir, and shout out to Uruguay. Thank you guys for joining us. So you see that? Vences landed 41 up to this point. Carroll 50. About kind of how like I thought it was. Vences had, you know, maybe probably won the first couple rounds. Carroll's had much better rounds since. Nice straight right there from Carroll. Which, I mean, I think Vences won either 6 or 7. I don't know. I gave Vences 3 rounds. I got it 4 rounds to 3 in favor of Carroll. Nice right hand and left hook here from Carroll. Yes, cheers, Diego. Robert Kerrigan holding it down. Long time moderator, Cash App donator. And there you go. Wheel lock scorecards. I actually have it the same as he does. 4 rounds to 3 in favor of Carroll. Nice left hand there from Vences, though. Vences starting to come back. Nice right hand there. Having a better round here again. Nice right hand again there from Vences. I thought Carroll started the round off pretty good. Vences has had an interesting fight. I thought he started out really good. Took a little bit of break in the middle. And looks like he's back for these last 3 or 4 rounds. Couple of nice jabs there from Vences. And Carroll, I think Carroll's wearing out a little bit. Good straight right and a left hook there from Vences. Because Carroll looked a hell of a lot better a couple rounds ago. Damn it, I have Vences on a bet. Hey, dude, with everything going on tonight, anything can happen. Come on, Vitor Belfort's boxing Tito Ortiz. Evander Holyfield's coming out of the senior citizen, the senior center to box Vitor Belfort. Did you realize that Evander Holyfield has been able to order off the senior menu for 3 years now? As of next month, Evander Holyfield will have been ordering off the senior citizens menu for 3 years. But we're gonna have him. They're gonna have him fight tonight. I mean, I guess it is what it is. But here we go. I thought Vences might have came back and won that one. That was very close. I'm going to say it's 4 apiece. Whoever bet on Vences there. JD's chins was okay, but his will was never the same after the last Kane fight. Oh, for sure, man. Yeah, and that Derek Lewis fight, even though he won it, I think that was close to the end there for him. Hey, Eric Sandoval, you're welcome, sir. Eric Sandoval, and thanks for tuning in, man. I'm glad to do it. I have fun doing it. Okay, so something else is going in here on Triller. I don't know. They got the clock going for round 9. They only have 1 fighter here, though. Oh, they're looking in the eyes here of Carroll. So whoever had that bent on Vences, you might be looking at some money here pretty soon. Everyone give Seattle Micah a thumbs up. 150 in chat, only 32. Hit the button. Yes. Yes, hit that like button. Like I said, or I'll have Vitor Belfort go to your house and beat your grandpa up. He's going to do it tonight for a little bit of money. I think I can hire him to do that. Holy crap, Vince is a minus 1,200 favorite in this fight. Seriously? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. And Eric Sandoval, the first donation, first super chat of the night. Thank you, Eric Sandoval. Appreciate you, my man. Eric Sandoval with the super chat. If you want to donate to us, just hit that super chat button. You can donate any amount. If you don't want to do the super chat, if you got Cash App, oh guys, Cash App donation, Seattle Mike. Excuse me, I'll put that in here for those. You guys aren't generally in here. Seattle Mike is my Cash App handle. Oh, and look at that, Nuka-Cola. Long-time subscriber Nuka-Cola with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. And Donald Trump just informed us that if a fighter does good in the last 2 rounds, they just generally give him the fight. I mean, sure. I think that's the way it works, right? You don't really worry about the 8 rounds before it. It's just the the last 2. That's really all anybody's worried about. Oh my goodness. I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to pick on the guy, but I'm not going to let him get away with that crap. And I mean, honestly, the entertainment, thank you again, Nuka-Cola. Getting that super chat up there. The $10 super chat. You're much appreciated throughout the years, Nuka. Yes. Love Saturday nights here. Well, thank you, Nuka. Does Tito loses some money of his purse for failing and making weight? I don't know. Toyota Guy 37 says, yes, Diego, 20%. I knew they did in the UFC. I wasn't sure about that, so thank you, Toyota. Appreciate that, man. Hey, I am going to agree. I am going to agree with Donald Trump on something on this, that this fight could come down to this last round. And another thing I agree with Trump on here, he says so far the judges have done pretty good. I have not disagreed with him up to this point. There's not been a whole lot, but yeah, thank you, 20%. Certainly sounds off given how this fight is going. Right? Oh, when they're really looking over here at Carroll, I mean, like, God, are you going to stop with a round to go? I don't think so. No, here we go. That would have been ridiculous. And Robert Kerrigan with the Cash App donation. Robert Kerrigan dropping $13 over there on Cash App. So he owns the Cash App icon right now. $13. Thank you, sir. Bringing the tip jar up to $24. Guys are the best. I got it, Robert. I seen it. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. I could really care for this joke of a card. Who cares to see old washed-up guys fight like 58-year-old Evander and 44-year-old Vitor? What do they gain from this fight? Is it big money? I'm sure they're paying these guys pretty decent. Nice straight right and a left hook to the body there from Carroll. These are two of the only boxers on this card, though. This is, I mean, really one of the best matches. David Hayes, former WBA heavyweight champion, I believe, literally fought a guy who was 9-0, started boxing at 35. He's 38 now. His opponents have had like 117 and 34 was their combined records. He fought some dude that was like 2-41. Oh, nice 1-2 to the body there from Vences. These guys are getting it on. Minute left here. Good combination here from Carroll. Good left and a right hook from Carroll. And as Wyatt was pointing out, Vences was a huge favorite. We could see a little 12-1 upset here. Nice right hand to the body there from Vences. Carroll taunting Vences now. He may be ahead in this, but I agree with President Trump on this. Nice right hand there from Vences. I think it's whoever wins this 10th round. And there could be some close rounds in there. Double right hook and a beautiful combination to the body there from Carroll. These guys really want this coming down the stretch. Nice left hook to the body there from Carroll. Coming down to the last 10 seconds of this fight. Oh, good double jab behind there for Carroll. Misses the left hand behind it, but He's a slick southpaw. And, oh, beautiful combination of the body and a right hook to the head. There from Carroll to end this. Guys, I have it 6-4. Jono Carroll, the huge underdog on this. So, this is going to be interesting. This is where the judges are going to earn their money so far tonight. This was an actual close fight where they had to pay attention, and they're going to have to give us a scorecard. They're going to have to know what they're doing to give us a decent decision here. Sorry, I can't show fights. Mike does really good at play-by-play. Thank you. Yeah, I can't show the fights, man. How's Trump's commentary? He's a good talker. He doesn't really know what he's talking about, but he's a good talker. A lot of people would say he never really knows what he's talking about. A lot of people love him. I'm not here to judge him on anything else but his boxing commentary. So far, he sounds like your uncle sitting on the couch. You know your know-it-all uncle that he probably hasn't really paid attention to a lot of combat sports, but he sits next to you every once in a while. He'll come in and he'll act like he really, really knows what he's talking about. That's Donald Trump right now. Donald Trump Jr. being real quiet here, not saying a whole lot, but sitting next to his father. All right, 136. Hey, Live 1XYZ, get the fook out of here! No spamming on my channel. How dare you, you bastard. Junk, what's up, Junk? Junk in the house. Torbrown in the house. Everything is good going, Robert. Nice. Why didn't Anderson Silva and Tito just fight in MMA instead of boxing? Anderson's, he's pretty sour about MMA. He said he doesn't want to fight in MMA again. So we got a majority decision here. So the Irishman, Jono Carroll, pulling off the upset in a majority decision here. I can't disagree with that. I thought Jono Carroll won 6 out of 10 rounds. I thought he took the fight in that last round. I thought it was anybody's fight. And, you know, Andy Vences, I don't know if he came in and took this fight for granted because he was a 12-1 favorite. But that's a big upset, and I'm sorry, whoever that was that was saying they bet on Andy Vences. Hey, I'm sorry. It sounds like the odds makers didn't do a great job on that one. I don't know for sure because I'm not real familiar with either one of these gentlemen. So obviously the greatest and best boxing commentator in U.S. history. Michael Donald Trump knows his S when it comes to boxing. What's up, Arcade Chaos? Blocked and reported and for child porn. I can all be back, guys. All right. Take care, Torrin. See you soon. Thank you, King James. Arcade, greatly the best. Anderson Silva's a pretty good boxer. He would have made a good career in that. Jono Carroll moves to 21-2 with 5 knockouts. And Andy Vences, I mean, this is a bitter, bitter pill to swallow. Because when you're a guy that was expected to win a fight, and, you know, you're number 3. This is, no matter what you want to say about this card, this has gotten a pretty good amount of publicity. There's not a lot of big fights in boxing anymore. You got the President of the United States commentating with his son, Donald Trump Jr., next to him. You got former heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield, even though he's a senior citizen, fighting Vitor Belfort, who's 44, and Tito Ortiz versus Anderson Silva, who are 46 apiece. I'm enjoying the banter back and forth between Donald Trump and Junior Dos Santos. Trump doing a great job of interviewing Junior Dos Santos and asking some very good questions. Okay, everybody's going to jail in this chat. What's up, Michael Adair? Well, or they've already been there. Damn it, Chaos in the house. Yeah, what's up, Arcade Chaos? Forgot to mention. I'm back. All right, Torrin Brown, welcome back. Chillin', chillin'. Welcome back. All right. 2 more fights left, guys. Next up is Vitor Belfort. Tito Ortiz. 2 former UFC champions getting it on in a boxing ring. And I believe Anderson Silva is going to absolutely annihilate the former light heavyweight champion, the bad boy, Tito Ortiz. For those who don't know, Anderson Silva did something very smart coming into this fight. He fought in the UFC, of course, at middleweight. Most of you probably know. 185 pounds. Tito Ortiz fought at 205. Tito Ortiz is a big light heavyweight. He is a big, stocky dude. I mean, just his head weighs a good 25 pounds. So, Anderson's like, hey, let's split the difference, bro. You weighed 205. I weighed 185. I'm going to make you weigh in at 195 if you want the fight. Tito Ortiz says, hey, I lost respect for Anderson making me jump to 195. Jump down to 195. Well, Anderson Silva came back and says, hey, Tito Ortiz is disrespecting the sport. I've lost respect for him because he couldn't make weight. He came in 5 pounds over at 200 pounds. And somebody was saying, I believe he will end up having to give Anderson part of his purse. What's up, Yippee-ki-yay in the house? Carroll said the entire round 9 he couldn't see. Oh, damn, not many Brazilian boxers. That's the only Latin group that isn't in boxing. But the more notable Latin groups in boxing are Mexicans, Puerto Rican, Cubans, Dominicans, and Panamanians. No Brazilians, though. What's up, Vincent? It's like a full-on night helmet on his head. But that's just his head. All right, we're going to bring in my good friend and co-commentator, Billy Hughes. Let me get his picture up here first. And then hang by your Facebook phone, Billy, because I'm going to buzz you in, my friend. Just on audio, so give me a second to find your picture on here, and we'll bring them in for those and so for those that don't know, Billy's a champ around here. Billy Hughes, we have combat trivia on here, and Billy was champion for back-to-back seasons. We had 2 different seasons where we were doing this, and Billy Hughes won in back-to-back seasons. So there we go. Hang by the bat phone, Billy, and we'll bring you on in. Watching 61 likes. Let's go. Thank you for hitting the like button, guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure and do that now. I appreciate you. And Billy. What's up, my man? Billy Hughes in the house. I cannot hear you, my friend. Oh, there.
Okay.
There we
Can you hear
go.
me?
I can hear you.
Okay, it made me reactivate my microphone. Who knows?
All right. Well, hey, what do you think of this crazy show here, man? This is nuts.
I just don't like Triller. I don't like the music stuff mixed in with the fights, and
it's interesting. I like Snoop
avenue.
Dogg. They got Snoop Dogg on here. I like him, but if I want to see a concert, yeah, I'll watch a concert.
Yeah, and they didn't do much to like really set a format. Like when I looked up the card this morning, the fight lineup was completely different.
Yeah, well, David Hay
start time was different.
Still says on Topology, which is the best as far as telling you when a card's supposed to be in order. Still had David Hay as was supposed to be the last fight. You know, the fight that we just had.
Yeah, and that was actually the only fight with professional boxers on it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that I don't know if I would. You talking about David Hay or the last one we just had?
The last one was like a professional bout. The rest of them are either amateur or exhibitions.
Yeah, that Fournier fight, that guy that was fighting David Hay, that guy was a joke.
He's actually not even a fighter. He's a billionaire that's friends with David Hay.
Yeah, I guess he's 9-0. He started, I looked him up on BoxRec. He started boxing at 35. He's 38 now. But yeah, like I said before, I believe his opponents were 34 and 117. Like he fought one guy that was 2-41. And I mean, just ridiculous mismatches.
Did you? What channel are you on?
I am now on channel 2.
Yeah. Okay. That one seems to work the best.
Yeah.
Is it true that Mario Lopez wants to fight one of these, or is that just a rumor because he's the host?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I could see it. He's got to be pretty old now too. How old is Mario Lopez?
He's in wicked shape, though. There's always
47. 47. Dude, Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield is a senior citizen. He can order off the senior menu and get a discount for 4 years as of next month. That's ridiculous.
Very true.
Yeah.
Remind me real quick, who are the announce crew tonight?
Got Donald Trump Jr., Junior Dos Santos, and some guy's last name, I think, was Wheelhouse. I'd never heard of him before. He seems to know his shit, though.
So they weren't able to get Sean Porter then?
Could smell the weed on Snoop, says Greg. He might have been in there, in and out. I don't know. Oh, my goodness. Are you seeing this?
No.
Tuesday, September 14th, in a few days.
Fat Joe and Ja Rule.
Fat Joe's fighting Ja Rule. Hulu Theater. Wow. Madison Square Garden, Fat Joe and Ja Rule. That's a disgrace to Madison Square Theater.
That's great.
Madison Square Garden. Come on, Fat Joe and Ja Rule fight September 14th. Yep, cherry hot. Hey, it's going to bring out the casuals, and it's like, I mean, boxing's got so little left. I mean, maybe this is the way they're going to go for a little while. If you bring the money back... Go ahead.
It makes that all I said is it's making money, so they'll keep doing it. And
if you bring the money back into it, you will bring good athletes back into the sport. I mean, that's a given. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to expect people to train hard, I mean, the reason that guys train to get in the NFL and the NBA, it's like, yeah, they want to be popular. They want to have, women chasing them everywhere and fast cars and everything, but they want the money, man.
I agree.
Show me the money. Yippee-ki-yay says rap battle. I'd rather see a rap battle.
To break down the Tito Ortiz Anderson fight, my thought with this fight is Anderson's a mega favorite. How serious did Tito take it? And is Anderson going to try to stop Tito in this fight?
I hope he is trying to stop him as hard as he can. I hope he's taking it as if he's in a world championship match. And I don't know that Anderson, I don't know if Anderson knows any other way to fight.
Yeah, because if you remember, like, you were saying it like 2 months ago that Anderson was the rumored opponent for Logan Paul in his next fight after Mayweather. And I think if Anderson can, well, either way, I think he's going to win. But if he can really put on a show and knock Tito out, I think there's money in that fight, Anderson versus Logan Paul.
And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but I think Anderson wipes the floor with both Paul brothers easily.
He's got the most to bring to boxing so far from any MMA fighter. He looks so good against Chavez Jr.
Yeah, and he's 46 years old, and some people are probably like, oh, maybe he's on TRT or whatever. You know what? At these guys' age, I remember them talking about, when Lance Armstrong tested positive for EPO so many times, and he won 7 Tour de France's, and he had so many other guys that were on EPO. There were several doctors, scientists, people, reputable people from all over that said, hey, this might actually be more dangerous to do. The Tour de France is so terrifying on your body. It might actually be more healthy to have it and safer to be on EPO doing it.
Yeah, they're showing Tito in the back here, and man, dude looks shredded. He looks really skinny. And here's the fight announce crew. I was right. Sean Porter is there.
Yeah, I see him now. And 50 Cent.
50 Cent, yeah.
So looked really good his last outing, said Nuka-Cola. Oh, hell yeah, he did. He beat a former world champion, Julio Cesar Chavez, and the dude was, he's only 38 years old. I know that sounds old, but when you're 45, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
See the video that surfaced on YouTube of Anderson around 2011? We're at HGH on his closet shelf when they were doing a UFC Cribs episode. No, I didn't. I know people can do a lot of creative things with videos, but in 2011, I believe TRT exemptions were a thing.
Pretty sure you're right, yeah.
Yeah, because, we all know Vitor kind of ruined that for everybody because I think he took way more than he should have.
Anderson's he's the one. He's the MMA fighter that can dominate boxing. He was legit chance to fight Roy Jones when Roy Jones was still not in his prime, but still relevant towards the end of his career.
He may still fight Roy
dominating
Jones.
The middleweight.
He may still fight Roy Jones. They're at similar ages.
I'm just saying, they thought enough of Anderson's skills back then, before any of this circus stuff started, to think that he would be a legitimate opponent for Roy Jones, and that was before anybody thought about Conor going there or anything like that.
Yeah,
so they've had their eye on him for many, many years.
Well, and that just shows you, what have you done for me lately? I see people's top 5 MMA fighters of all time, and I see most people's list, maybe even top 10 sometimes, pound for pound, do not have Anderson Silva on it, and I think that's a crime. I think he's absolutely one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time, and I think Roy Jones Jr. treated somewhat similarly. He had his chin kind of gave out on him towards the end of his career. He gained all that weight to come up to heavyweight. I think that's what screwed him over. Went back to light heavyweight. That's when he started not being able to take shots. But also, I think one of the greatest pound-for-pound boxers of all time.
Yeah, so breakdown for the co-main event. As you said earlier, Anderson's 46, but so is Tito. They're both 6'2". Anderson weighed in at 192, Tito at an even 200. Anderson's going to have a 4-inch reach advantage, and he's also going to have way more in-ring skill when it comes to boxing, when it comes to experience. No 3 knockdown rule. Cannot be saved by the bell in any round. 8 2-minute rounds with a 10-point must system.
I'm a little disappointed this is 2-minute rounds.
Yeah, but they had to scramble to Florida because the minute the Athletic Commission in California saw Holyfield, they said nope.
I had very mixed feelings about doing this at all, and I was not surprised that Jim Lampley backed out when they said it was Holyfield that came in. I am very worried for Evander Holyfield's safety tonight.
Yeah, because if Vitor gets in that mode, he is an assassin. So
Yeah, and I mean, he should be on all the TRT. He's had enough time. Vincent Vles says Nate Diaz said it best. They all do it. The stuff. Yep, I don't think I've ever truly finished the glass of Anderson Silva Kool-Aid. I know you're not a fan, Arcade. This is going to be ugly, says what? Tito, 2 minutes is like 5 minutes. Well, that's one of the big things that Tito was always known for was his cardio, though. I mean, ever since that Frank Shamrock fight years back, he lost a fight to Frank Shamrock where he basically, Shamrock out-cardioed him. He said that will never happen again. Went out there and started training him Big Bear and became known for his cardio.
Are we still planning on doing what I talked about after this fight, Mike?
Yeah, right after this, we'll do that. And then
I want to bring everyone's attention to Tito's walkout right now. This is reminiscent. This is his tribute to 9/11. This is the same walkout he did for the first UFC after 9/11, where he came out to the fight carrying the American flag.
Because he came out to an Eminem song. I can't remember the title of it, but I know I'll recognize it. Oh, yep, and there's the rain.
He does look in shape, Mike. So hopefully he took it seriously.
He does look in shape. And hey, I got to give him respect on 9/11, coming out with the flag. He's a very patriotic guy. Everything I've heard from is he is the last fighter to leave when signing autographs for fans, for kids. Does a lot of food drives, bring presents and food to a lot of kids around the holidays and stuff. As much as people joke about Tito Ortiz, myself included, the guy's he seems like a really good guy and really, does a lot to help people.
He's definitely come a long way from, what would you say, like 2005 Tito Ortiz?
Well, yeah, and I mean, he grew up dirt poor. He grew up dirt poor, ghetto mentality. And a lot of these fighters do. A lot of times that's why they're fighters. And sometimes they bring some of that baggage with him. He sounds like he brought a little bit of it, that fight with him at least to Huntington Beach when he was their mayor for a second.
Here comes the spider.
And here he comes, the former middleweight champion of the world, most UFC title defenses of any fighter in UFC history. Anderson the Spider Silva making his way to the ring. They signed 69-year-old Holyfield. They sign anyone, right? God-fearing man, Tito Ortiz. I've met Tito. He was cool, gringo. Holyfield going to make a punch to go, move. Yeah, I've heard good things. Yeah, I was talking to my good friend last week, Ian Brewster, who used to be. He knows a lot of fighters, but he's friends with Tito Ortiz, used to be CFO of W1 MMA in Canada. And he said, yeah, Tito was just always so nice to him and just so gracious and would always stay to sign every autograph.
They're definitely using it looks like they're using the smaller boxing ring than what Jake Paul and Woodley used.
That's going to be interesting. I think a bigger ring would have definitely been advantageous for Anderson. I think no matter what they do, it's going to be advantageous for Anderson. I love the jumpsuit, though. The yellow and black, he's always done that, like the old Bruce Lee Game of Death jumpsuit, but that boxing jacket is slick. If they made one of those, I would buy it.
Put your predictions in the chat. Who do you think is going to win and how the fight will finish? And if not, what round it will finish, I guess, at the same time. But my prediction for this fight, I'm going to go Anderson Silva. I think the ref's going to rescue Tito in round 3.
All right, so you say round 3. I say that Tito will make it to round 7.
Okay.
What does Vitor win if he wins this fight? I mean, he beats on a 70-year-old man. Yeah, Josh the Punk Thompson, I was listening to him. I listened to his podcast with Big John McCarthy. And he was saying that he actually thinks Vitor should have stepped out of the fight, that he was actually upset Vitor even took it. I don't share those sentiments. That's not Vitor's responsibility, in my opinion.
I know contracts were probably maybe too binding, but why didn't they just have Anderson or Tito take the main event spot versus Vitor?
Well, yeah, they definitely could have done that. And, I mean, honestly, if Anderson would have agreed to it, which I don't know if he would have, Vitor did, have Anderson and Vitor in the main and find another opponent for Tito.
Tito could have fought David Hay.
Shit, he might have beat him. No, he should have fought that Fournier guy, the billionaire, the supposed billionaire, right. Which I also call bullshit on.
Round 1 underway.
All right, good job here from Tito. Right hand there, and little combination early here from Tito. Nice right hook there from Anderson.
Tito's punches are slow though.
Yeah, Tito's the aggressor early. I know this would be better if we watched it in fast forward. It would look like a normal fight.
Right. Don't forget to smash that like button and ring that bell if you're new here and subscribe.
Bigger gloves, they will be okay. Yippee-ki-yay. I hope so, man. Dana White is watching this, says Yippee-ki-yay. I agree. I think the referee saves Tito or corner stoppage. Round 5. Anderson is a beast. Oh, and a right hook to the body. Right hand. Combination here from Tito. Anderson slipping a lot of these shots, but Tito's the only one landing here, really. Couple of nice left hooks. Oh, good counter right hook and around. Oh, and Anderson Silva demolishes Tito Ortiz. Oh, my goodness. Hooks and uppercuts. And Tito Ortiz is down, and he's crying. I'm pretty sure he was crying there. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. I didn't mean to embarrass the guy, but he is out. Anderson Silva. Tito Ortiz, you got knocked the fuck out.
Nate Robinson, you have company. You guys can hang out and be memes together.
Wow. And who called first round? Did anybody call first round? Seems like somebody did. Somebody called pretty early. Maybe not in this chat, but I know in one of the chats somebody said that he was going to win first round.
And I was just, right when you were screaming, I was saying Anderson's trapping Tito. He's making Tito think that he's hurt. And right after that, boom, knocked him out.
He did. And, I mean, even I kind of fell for it. I'm like, hey, he's taking a few shots here. And I was like, I was about to say Anderson is known as the counterpuncher, and then, boom.
Yeah, and it was a weird way he fell, but I think the ropes is really what did it. I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, look at that. But the reason he fell backwards so slow is because he fell forward into the ropes, and then they shot him back. But he was out.
I wouldn't mind seeing a replay on that. And I'm going to record that replay, actually, and post it up on my Twitter. So if anybody who hasn't seen the knockout, I'll post my Twitter up here in a minute, and you guys can go over there and see that knockout.
And if you're the boxing world, you're in the Jake Paul camp. I know Logan wanted it originally, but Jake Paul, Anderson Silva, mega fight right there. That's what you needed, is Anderson Silva showcase knockout. Let's break the bank and have those two fight. And I think, like you said, Anderson can beat Jake. Easy.
Oh, he'll destroy him. He'll destroy him. I don't care if he's 46 years old. He would destroy Tyron Woodley, too. If they really want to do the freak shows, I'm all for this. Have Anderson Silva fight them both in one night.
I'm starting to think maybe have Anderson take a little run at like a lower level boxing world title. He looks good.
I mean, he's 46. If he's on
Bernard
something,
Hopkins, man.
If he's taking something, I don't care. You're right. Bernard Hopkins was champion at 45. There are very, very few guys that can do it at an older age like that. Of course, Randy Couture was one of them. Late start, but and then Bernard Hopkins and Anderson Silva really seems like somebody who takes care of his body. Never looks out of shape.
And it's not like Anderson's chin like completely went away in MMA. Yeah, his chin wasn't as good, but he still had some left when he walked away from the sport.
Yeah, he was having more issues with his leg from taking those leg kicks and giving the leg kicks.
And fighting off takedowns and everything.
Yeah. All right, Anderson Silva moves to 4-1 as a boxer with 2 knockouts.
4-1. I would like to see the official time. I didn't catch that.
I don't know. Tito got paid. That's what he wanted. Tito gets paid tonight. And
that was a weird expression on Tito's face when he woke up after hitting the canvas.
Yeah, I want to see that replay. They still have not showed a replay of the knockout. They have to here soon.
They better. Otherwise, conspiracy theorists are going to start popping up.
I want some of Anderson's supplements. Dude, he's 46 years old. Let him take whatever you want. You think Tito's not taking supplements?
Right. And Tito looked in good shape, but his punches were so slow. It was like he was stuck in the mud or something.
Mystic Muss in the house. It's Greg Brimstone. What's up, Greg? Greg Brimstone in the house. Vanderson fight the Paul brothers in a 1 versus 2 handicap match. No, I don't mean at the same time.
Mayweather said he wanted to
replay.
do that.
This is silly. Yeah, that is weird. I gotta admit, I'm kind of skeptical. I was honestly kind of surprised that DraftKings actually even dropped odds on any of these fights, because in my mind, Triller's super suspect all the way around.
Yeah.
They're just, I mean, I wouldn't trust it. I know Wyatt made some money on it, but I don't think I would bet on anything with Triller.
Congrats, Wyatt. I think like DAZN or someone needs to jump in and scoop up some of these, lower level, not lower level, but not the Paul people, like Anderson Silva can headline some boxing fights and get out of Triller.
Yeah, but I mean, Anderson Silva, that's kind of what we expected. Everyone expected Anderson Silva to win. But, okay, here's the replay.
All right, here we go. Here's the replay of the knockout.
Oh, nice.
There's
a left hook right on the temple, a shot behind the head before that. And then you're going to get
it was a right hook to the jaw, just knocked him out.
Yep, big right hook to the jaw. And then misses behind the head, and then that left right on the temple. That's legit.
He's out.
That's legit. He is out.
And then those 2 left hands really knocked him out because he fell knocked out
right on the chin.
And he got hit twice.
Beautiful shots from Anderson Silva. Still a master at 46 years old. And there's another one. Yeah, big right hook right on the chin. Oh, dude, he was out on his feet. Look at him there. Oh, he is so hurt. And then he was about to land a shot. Looks like it might have went to the back of the head. So Anderson adjusts, doesn't land the shot, lands another one. Dude, he is out, almost through the ropes.
And that second one on the ear really puts him out, and his head bounces off the canvas.
Wow, shout out to Anderson Silva. That was incredible.
But it's like I'm saying, it shows his power. Look at that knockout with boxing gloves on.
Gotta pay for those sins, Tito. You're reaping what you sow. That's a man, that's a fighter, says Yippee-ki-yay. What's the sins of Tito? Silva was minus 1,000. I didn't bet on this fight. Put a few bucks on Vitor. Well, I thought you won some money. I guess it was just the Vitor fight. So we'll see. They're probably going to have like a music performance or some crap here.
I heard them wrong earlier. I thought they said they were going to have a magician come out. But they were talking about one of the fighters' nickname was the Magician on the prelims.
Okay. Well, they'll probably have a musician come out here too, because that's kind of what Triller does. If I was watching it live, I'd probably think that was pretty awesome. Triller are probably, now that they have live crowds, maybe not Triller, but I've always kind of liked the idea. I've thrown it out there before of having, live music during fight events before Triller was even a thing.
Yeah. Well, you've been to a UFC, Mike. In between fights, it's like a nightclub with them blasting music. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So why not have a live band out there? Everybody doesn't necessarily need to see them on TV. They can be playing the live bands. while they're doing like all the promos and things and the pre-fights.
Mm-hmm.
Sleepy Tito chain coming to stores near you, Robert Anderson. Could have gone crazy on him too. That's something. Probably cheating to a fight or something. Being a hole. Craig says Trump just keeps rambling on. He's good at that.
50 Cent has a really expensive coat on. Just want to point that out. Huh.
Yeah, it is a little short. You can tell he's put a little bit of extra around the midsection, though. I think that coat used to fit him a little better. I don't think it's new.
What boxing division was Sean Porter in?
I believe he fought at middleweight, possibly super middleweight as well, but right around there. I'm pretty much positive.
Yeah. Any current events in boxing that we could discuss? Anything else coming up?
I know Teofimo Lopez is going to be fighting here on Triller next month. One of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world right now. Maybe the second best Mexican fighter on the planet next to Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah.
And then, of course, before the end of the year, sometime hopefully we get Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 3. It's been scheduled, but then Fury ended up with the Tony Khabib virus and was rescheduled.
Yeah. Wyatt says Porter is 147 welterweight. All right, thanks, bro. Yeah, and when is the Anthony... Does anybody in the chat know when the Anthony Joshua fight is?
I don't even remember who he's fighting.
Isn't he fighting like Usyk or something like that?
You know what? I think you might be right. I know I heard that thrown out there.
Kind of just a placeholder because, man, how cool would it have been to see the Fury versus Joshua fight?
Yeah, I think that's going to happen eventually. I think Joshua's going to fight the winner of that one. I do think Fury is going to beat... God, Evander's in the back? Fuck, he looks good, man. For 58 years old and for taking this fight on like a week's notice, he looks really good. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, still, man. Speed, Mike, speed. What's his reaction time going to be like?
He's still 58 years old. I understand that, but... I mean, at 58 years old, I'm expecting you to be sitting on the couch watching the fights, not being in the fight.
Wyatt says the AJ Usyk fight is on the 25th.
Ah, thank you, Wyatt.
That's the same night as the UFC pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah. So we'll definitely be doing UFC that night because that is a huge card. Nick Diaz returned against Robbie Lawler. Alexander Volkanovski taking on Brian Ortega. And then is it Amanda Nunes fighting or is it Shevchenko?
Shevchenko. Nunes is fighting in December.
Okay. Yeah, I knew they were both fighting coming up, but I couldn't remember which one was on which card.
All right, guys, they're going to do some musical performances in between fights. So, real quick, me and Mike just want to honor what today is for all of us here in America and around the world. It affected the whole world. So, if you're ready, Mike, I'll just go ahead and read this real quick.
All right. Did you want me to do the bell during or?
No, we'll do it. We'll do it after. It's just a quick paragraph to.
All right, Billy Hughes here with a dedication, with a 9/11 dedication, and I'll say my bit real quick, just for all the people that lost their lives, I'm so sorry, it's horrible, and we just need to honor them. Thank you, Billy.
All right. On this day 20 years ago, the world as we knew it changed forever. In the face of an unimaginable tragedy, the country and the world united to support the families who lost loved ones and to honor the selflessness and courageousness of the first responders and the general public who sacrificed everything to help the survivors escape the tragedy. The survivors who will always carry a weight that we will never fully understand, and as well as the recovery workers who worked tirelessly to save the lives and rebuild the deepest pits of loss, as they fight, still today, chronic illnesses. 20 years later, the pain of that day lives on, but the strength and resilience of the 9/11 memorial and the 9/11 remembrance will live in our hearts forever. Today and every day, we remember all of those who lost their lives September 11th, 2001, along with the thousands of lives that have been cut short due to the related illnesses. We continue to support the tens of thousands who are living with the related physical and mental illnesses. As we reflect today on the 20-year anniversary of that fateful day, we remember the two words that we pledged to one another, as we will never forget those that we lost.
Thank you for that, Billy.
Of course.
100 people in the room, give a thumbs up. Thank you, PR. Who paid for this? What's up, Uncle Phil? Mustafa, a sad, sad day. May they all rest in peace. Yeah, absolutely. And if we have a minute here, I thought this was going to start a little later, but I've been working all day on a new little mini documentary for my new channel that's going to launch before midnight, I promise. I'll keep you guys updated. It's called Weapons of Mass Discussion, but we're starting it out with a 9/11 tribute. I'm calling it 9/11 The Aftermath, and it goes through some of what Billy was talking about, the people that are, still having lung problems and things, and then, the enduring war that our soldiers have faced for the last 20 years. It's about a 5-minute preview I got here. But for those that aren't interested, if I start it and you start not liking it, you can go over to Twitter during that and watch Anderson Silva knocking out Tito Ortiz.
Knock him out.
Seattle Mike at Fights W Friends. So if you just stay on so we keep the watch time.
Plus, I have no idea who the singer is.
I don't either. Somebody much younger than me, I'm sure knows, but all right. This is just a preview of what I'm going to show, and the audio is actually going to be a little bit different, a little crisper on the final
product.
The final version, which shows tonight. But I appreciate the chance to show this, and like I said, I'll have it on this channel as well for a little while so people can watch it, but it's going to be on our new channel, Weapons of Mass Discussion. Look out for it. Hello, fellow Americans. It is 9/11/2021, the 20th anniversary of 9/11. If you lived through 9/11 as I did, if you're around the same age as me, I was 22 years old when it happened. You probably almost certainly remember where you were when you heard the news, who you were with, what you did immediately afterwards, and how our lives changed forever on this day. If you knew loved ones that were in New York or at the Pentagon that day, my condolences. The next 3 minutes of audio and video are very difficult. It's going to be very difficult for a lot of people. It's very terrifying. So I have to warn you, if you were around this area, you may want to cut out the next 3 minutes. They are very, very tough to go through. It was very tough for me to go through making this 3-minute slideshow, and the audio especially. Thank you to the TSA for this audio. This audio is all from the audio of TSA that happened on 9/11. What you'll hear in this video are actual phone calls of people who are no longer with us as they were on planes hurtling to their death. You'll see images of a man jumping from a burning building. You'll hear calls of panicked TSA agents as they get the information that planes are no longer coming back, that they've crashed into buildings, or that buildings are on fire and that thousands of people are literally burning. As I said, these next images are very, very disturbing. Thank you for choosing to watch this. I am Michael Benedict, and this is Weapons of Mass Discussion.
Stay away from that aircraft.
Well, that was not my intent, Arcade, to make you cry, and I probably need to record that introduction and realize how slowly I was speaking. But I was really shook up because while I was doing the editing, I was listening to this TSA calls of people, saying goodbye to their loved ones before they died for, like 15, 20 minutes, and I had to go downstairs and take a break for like a good hour. It was it was pretty shaking.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Switch the background music.
Yeah. I'll look at some. If you got something, send me.
Well, I just said that because it's hard to hear the calls.
That's what I was talking about when I redo the audio. Is the background music needs to be quieter.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it until I was listening to it later. So yeah, I got 2 things to re-record, but
yeah.
Stuff says to be fully transparent. I'm a Muslim born in America, served in the U.S. Air Force, and I felt sick to my stomach. But because I felt Muslims in America would be blamed, targeted. Hey, Mustafa, thank you for your service, sir. You're a true patriot.
Real quick, I can share where I was. It was our first week of school. I was a junior in high school, and it was a Tuesday morning, as everyone knows. The Sunday before that, I just totaled my first car. So my dad had to take me to school. Who wants their parents taking them to school when they have their license? But the first plane had already hit, and as he was dropping me off at the front door, because everyone thought it was an accident at first, the second plane hit. And my dad was a Vietnam vet, and the sounds that were coming through the radio, he kind of started to check out. But just from the look on his face, I could see how serious it was. But the rest of that day, watching the events unfold and having relatives in the area, it just, the whole video just brings back just that eerie just feeling that we all got of, we just have never, our generation never experienced being attacked. Like the previous generation went through Pearl Harbor, and like this was the first time that we didn't feel safe. So it was jarring to everyone, young and old. But,
yeah, absolutely. I didn't realize how much it was going to affect me. Like I said, seeing all those images again. Because, we kind of think about this every year for 20 years. I thought, I can handle this, going through these images and listening to the calls and stuff. And I really couldn't. It was pretty difficult.
Yeah. So we'll get back to the fights now. They're getting ready to start the main event. They are singing the Brazilian national anthem, honoring Brazil, obviously the home of the phenom Vitor Belfort, who is the prohibitive favorite here tonight against the former boxing champion and boxing legend Evander the Real Deal Holyfield. And weird sense of dread has come over me with this main event, Mike, that I'm scared that Holyfield's going to get hurt bad.
Well, I felt much better actually when Wyatt said that that Belfort would try not to hurt him. I don't know what that means. I guess we're going to see, but I was not surprised when Jim Lampley decided to, not make the flight to Florida. And
yeah, I could see why you backed up. Like I put the post out there, go ahead and put your predictions out. Who are you going to think is going to win the fight? I'm sure most of us are going to think Belfort's going to win. And what round? If you think KO, what round will it end in?
What's up, PR? Anderson Silva, first round knockout. If you go to my Twitter, if you want to see the knockout, go to Seattle Mike at Fights W Friends, and you can actually hear me and Billy's commentary talking through there, because you could hear you over it while I was recording it. So, and here I believe, I didn't hear, but I believe they're ringing the bell for 9/11. Or it could be a full-on fighter. I didn't hear. Tito got knocked out in 1 minute.
They're doing their 10-bell salute right now.
Yeah, I didn't hear, but I'm assuming that's for 9/11.
Yeah.
Oh. I know we've also lost some people in, big in the sports world in the last year or so. Khabib's dad. A lot of people just lost a really popular coach to the Tony Khabib virus, and then there was a young fighter. I can't remember his name, but I know he made a big impression on a lot of people. I want to say he was like 30 or under 30, and he died during a super minor surgery. It was like a hand surgery. First round knockout. Wow, yeah. I was 22 on 9/11 when it happened, but
Excuse me.
Oh, looks like they are going to have they're going to have the national anthem and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
I will real quickly, I guess, just share.
Little guy's gonna sing it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, why do anything normally? You might as well. I mean, this kid could be the next Michael Jackson. Or Michael Jackson's like, how old in the Jackson 5?
Like 7 or 8, I believe.
Yeah, Josiah. That's the first prediction I've seen. I think for Holyfield, Real Deal wins by 4th round TKO. Vitor gasses out. Tito looked like
that would be an upset.
Yeah. Well, Tito got hit hard. I know his punches didn't look good. It's kind of what I expected from Tito. Tito's always tried to punch with people. He never quite did it successfully. And, I mean, I say that with as much respect as possible.
Except for the 3rd fight where he knocked out poor Chuck Liddell.
Well, we'll just forget about that.
The sad thing is that fight was on the level of a Triller fight. That was such a sideshow. It was
well,
so
and that was De La
disappointing.
Hoya's one promotion.
Yeah, but Chuck came in so out of shape.
Another prediction for Holyfield.
Okay.
Mustafa says Holyfield will knock Belfort out in round 2 or 3.
End of the day, Holyfield's got decades and decades of boxing knowledge, so he has tricks to the trade. He's got some tricks up his sleeve that he could come up with a slip here and an overhand right, and who knows, but I just don't see it.
The opening odds on this were actually even.
That's really surprising.
Yeah, minus 115 pick 'em. Evander could win. If he wins, I think it'll be an ugly, boring fight. I think it'll be a lot of hugging and headbutting. Which, I mean, Holyfield's got a hell of a headbutt.
Yeah. Isn't that why... Was it a headbutt? Isn't that why Tyson bit his ear?
Oh, yeah, because he was headbutting the hell out of him in both fights. I know he headbutted Tyson in the first fight so hard that Tyson almost went through the ropes. I can't remember what round it was, but it was early in the fight, and Tyson actually said he couldn't remember anything after that.
Now, is Mike going to fight again? Is there any word about that?
Well, Mike wants the fight again, but apparently he's in litigation with Triller because he doesn't want to fight for Triller again. Right. Triller's saying that they own the rights to his next couple fights.
Yeah, maybe Tyson's hoping Triller will go bankrupt.
Which very well could happen after this event.
Well, the company that did the TikTok versus YouTube boxing night, they didn't pay any of the fighters.
I know that, and that was crazy. I guess I was glad I wasn't on that one. I tried to throw my name out there. Well, and there you go. You see the Trump flags out in the audience there. A lot of people love Trump, and he is commentating about something people thought he knew something about. Doesn't sound like he knows a whole lot about it, to be honest. But
I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
Best to do. Very, very polarizing figure. Like I said, he's entertaining to talk to. I'm enjoying his conversation between him and Junior Dos Santos. I think he's asking some really good questions.
What does that say behind there? It said something about American Idol. It's on the flyer above his head.
Oh yeah, I seen that pop up. Maybe Trump's going to host the next American Idol. Wouldn't surprise me. He might announce his 2024 presidency around there too. Who knows?
Yeah, I think the people are in the chat are picking Holyfield. Kind of what I was saying, his fight IQ, which is something we do have to take into account. Is Vitor is an MMA fighter and Holyfield and a legend, so that fight IQ could come into play tonight. And
yeah, I mean, Vitor's always been known for fast hands, though, and I mean, I know 44 years old and fast don't always go together, but when you're fighting somebody who's 58, maybe it does.
Well, maybe Holyfield does something like where he clinches up with Vitor and throws some body shots and, wears him down with some old boxing tricks that way. And that's the only thing I can see him doing is, like, another thing in the chat was Vitor gassing out. Similar to how Jake Paul started to gas out against Woodley. Huh. If Holyfield can, hold on.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Gary Travis says, is 50 Cent commentating too? He was during one of the other fights, during one of the undercards, I think he was on there. He won't be commentating during the main. But Jorge Masvidal's here.
Yeah, Masvidal had a Twitter back and forth with the Paul brothers this week. It's like everyone's seeing dollar signs. And
yeah. And
there's other fights out there besides the Paul brothers,
Yeah. All right, Evander Holyfield, 14 years older at 58, tell of the tape. 3.5 inches taller at 6'2.5". Holyfield, 19 pounds bigger, 225 to 206, and he'll have a 2-inch reach advantage at 74 inches. Both of these fighters are right at the ideal weight that they fought in, honestly, in their prime. Holyfield was right around there, maybe a little lighter. Vitor, of course, fought a lot of his career at 205. He's right there at 204. I mean, those are two good things.
Same rules as the Tito fight. No 3 knockdowns. Can't be saved by the bell. The 8 2-minute rounds, 10-point must system. And TRT Holyfield, what's up? He does look... You don't look 58 in that picture, besides his, old man-looking face, but the body-wise.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He looks like he's in very good shape.
Here's Vitor backstage getting interviewed by... I haven't caught her name.
I'm not sure.
Ashley Haas. Her name is Ashley Haas.
Ah. All right. I want Colby to win the Usman rematch, says Vincent Holyfield. Will ragdoll Belfort in the clinches, then catch him with punches on the break. I'm feeling a little more comfortable by the fact that that Evander has got a 20-pound weight advantage. Hopefully that will help him.
Yeah. And I was also just now thinking, what if Vitor comes out over-aggressive and, leaves his hands down, or misses wildly with a punch and is just exposed to, a nice straight right or straight left.
Yeah. And Arcade Chaos, I seen that, Trump has been watching boxing for a long time. And I'm not just going to ignore it like Trump's not there, but I will say something. Thank you guys for the most part. Everybody has been talking about him in the boxing sense. People have been respectful. You guys have been very mature because it can be a very polarizing figure. And I got to tell you, when I heard he was going to be a part of it, I kind of cringed a little bit because I expected that the chat might be a complete nightmare. So thank you guys so much for being, very mature about it.
Here we go. The main event of the evening, brought to you by Fights with Friends and Seattle Mike. Mike's going to bring us home.
And Billy Hughes on the mic, and here he comes. Most finishes in UFC history with 12. That's got to be light heavyweight history. I don't know if that's correct, but the former light heavyweight champion, I believe, heavyweight champion back in the day, the phenom Vitor Belfort. I remember those fast hands coming out. I remember I was a big Tank Abbott fan back in the day. And Vitor Belfort comes out, I believe he was 19 years old. He might have been 18 or 19 years old. Much smaller than Tank. And just comes out and lights him up in like less than 20 seconds. Just the fastest hands I had ever seen in my life. I mean, honestly, I'd never seen anybody punch that fast and that hard before that fight.
Just like what he did to Anderson Silva. When he knocked Silva out, he was wearing the wrestling shoes, and it was like a 35-second knockout, just brutal. Put his name in the highlight reel forever with that knockout of the Axe Murderer. Here comes the real deal.
And here he comes, the former cruiserweight champion of the world and the former 4-time heavyweight champion of the world, Evander the Real Deal Holyfield. This guy beat some real legends back in the day. Of course, the 2 victories over Mike Tyson, won the disqualification, has a draw over Evander Holyfield, victories over champions John Ruiz. What I respect him most for, and that was his trilogy against Riddick Bowe. If you're a younger boxing fan and you didn't watch boxing, go back. You didn't watch boxing at that time, go back and watch the Evander Holyfield Riddick Bowe trilogy. If you can find it, I promise you will not be disappointed.
Evander Holyfield started out in the Olympics, and like Mike said, he was a cruiserweight champion, became the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, knocking out James Buster Douglas after Douglas took the belt off Tyson in Tokyo.
That was a 3-round domination. Mike, did you know Kurt Cobain? I did not. I did not know Kurt Cobain. I believe I was in the 8th grade when he passed. All right, guys. Thank you for the 100 and somes that have been in the chat that are watching from Florida and now from Seattle, Washington. Fights with Friends. I am Seattle Mike. Billy Hughes, my co-commentator. Thank you to all the premium members. Greg Brimstone, Milton Nelson, PBR Street Gang, RK Chaos, Billy Hughes, Brock Ellery, John Coffey, Phil D187, Chef Johnson, Yippee Ki Mac 209, and new member King Brown. Thank you to the Cash App donation from Robert Kerrigan, Nuka-Cola, and Sam with the donations earlier. Thank you guys very much. Let's get it on. Out of the red corner, he is a former UFC undisputed light heavyweight champion, Vitor, the Phenom Belfort. And out of the red corner, out of Atlanta, Georgia, he is a former Olympic medalist, former cruiserweight undisputed champion, and the former 4-time heavyweight champion of the world, Evander the Real Deal Holyfield.
Holyfield. Remember back in the day when they used to always say the last name twice?
I remember them all the rap songs back in the day.
Here we go, guys. 8 2-minute rounds.
14 or 15. Right
Main
now.
event of the evening, Triller Fight Club.
I'm gonna say Vitor wins this. I'm gonna say Holyfield can't make it through the 5th.
I think this first round is going to tell us a lot on how the rest of the fight's going to go.
Oh, Vitor doesn't look like he's in bad shape at all.
We're going to get to see the reaction time and the punching speed of Evander, which is going to be real important on how this fight ends up. Here we go. Round 1 underway.
Jab from Holyfield to open things up. Holyfield throwing that jab out there. Like you said, a lot of fight IQ from Evander Holyfield.
Holyfield almost looks in a little bit better shape than Vitor. Vitor's a tiny bit flabby.
Yeah, a little bit. He's still pretty toned, but yeah. Might be a little flab. There's not much flab on the Real Deal. Nice straight right there from Evander Holyfield. I think Evander may have made a trip to his friend Victor Contos.
You may be correct.
Oh, big left hook from Vitor. That hurt Holyfield. Holyfield's hurt. Left hook, left uppercut, left hand upstairs. Another big left hook and a right hook and a combination for Belfort.
Holyfield's trying to
survive. And a left hook and Holyfield. That's a slip, but he fell through the ropes.
Oh, my God. Reminiscent to Bernard Hopkins last fight.
Wow. You just don't have the coordination. Big left hand and a big right hand for Vitor, and he floors Holyfield. Holyfield's down. And this is exactly what a lot of people expected.
Holyfield does not have any balance whatsoever. His equilibrium is completely thrown off. He is in big trouble.
I'm glad they're on earlier, too. Oh, man. And big shots to the body. Vitor digging to the body. Left hooks, right hooks, left uppercut, and the referee stops the fight. It is all over.
It's all over.
Vitor, the Phenom Belfort, gets it done.
Just
of course
like
he's on
that.
TRT Mustafa. Should he not be?
Holyfield was hurt. Never had anything left in him after that. Completely off balance for the rest of the fight. The ref made the right call in rescuing Holyfield from a full-out beatdown where he was going to go completely unconscious.
And I imagine, even though Florida decided to take this commission, I mean, if they have any conscience at all, I'm sure they talked to that referee and said, hey, you got a dude that's almost 60 years old. Please use some common sense. Chuck Waddell, when he came back, his equilibrium, he was having issues with. Holyfield, a lot of the same things. You can't do it forever. And
yeah,
I don't know how much this tells us about Vitor Belfort. I'll tell you what it tells me about Vitor and Anderson, though, is I wouldn't mind them seeing them fight each other in a boxing ring.
Very, very true. 2-0 for the Brazilians in the co-main in the main event, owned by the Brazilians.
You look like Chuck. It's a bad stop, it says Robert. As predicted, lost balance with age. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Yeah, I would say a lot of times maybe early stoppage, but he was eating a lot of bad shots to the body. I don't think there was any point in Holyfield taking more punishment.
You could see that Holyfield was a beaten fighter. I think the ref made the perfect call in rescuing him.
Yeah, I agree. I almost always am right on the same page with you, Robert. And I understand why you would think it was an early stoppage generally. But like I said, in a fight that probably should have never been sanctioned to begin with.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, Vitor gets his win, and Holyfield didn't have to go completely out. Saved him some more brain damage. And now we can set up bigger fights for Anderson and Vitor Belfort down the line, because they're going to bring some money, because they both still got it, even at their advanced age.
Yeah.
And, all right, Mike, I'm going to let you bring it on home. Thanks, guys, for letting me jump in on this day once again. God bless all those that we lost and all the families that are still grieving for their loved ones. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Play big left hook there from Vitor. Big uppercut as Holyfield goes down. Oh, it was not. There it is. Big left hook. There's the uppercut. And as I said earlier, you can go to Seattle Mike at Fights W Friends and see this knockout and the Anderson knockout over Tito Ortiz. Both first-round knockouts. Big shots to the body here from Vitor. I mean, Vitor did exactly what was expected of him tonight. Exactly what he should have. And, big left hook there from Vitor. There's the uppercut. Showing this from several different angles. Big left hook to the body and a combination of the body there from Vitor. I mean, he might not be a boxer, but he's a fighter, and he knows how to turn his body into punches. And thank you again, Billy, for coming on the mic. Greatly appreciated. I wasn't ignoring you leaving. I was. They were just showing the replay though, so I was trying to make sure that No, I wouldn't doubt it. His heartbreak. With all due respect, Mustafa Holyfield is clearly on gear. Very likely has been most of his career. You know, there was so many guys that were on it, Wyatt. I mean, I'll admit, I'm a huge Roy Jones Jr. No, he might be my favorite boxer ever. I mean, I loved watching him back in the day. I have come to grips with the fact that there's a very good chance that, you know, he was on some illegal thing.